All right, what's going on, everybody? Good morning and happy day 5. I'm excited because we're going to see if we can stream to Instagram right now. So everything's just in one place. Today we're going to be talking about believing in yourself. It's just something that I feel like a lot of people are lacking right now. So I'm going to see if we can actually get on Instagram here. It's saying that we're live. So let's give this a shot. I don't think it's coming through to Instagram. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to pop this on my phone and then we'll get started. While we do this, if you guys can, let me know in the comments if everything is coming through. Okay. Let me know for live. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So it was working yesterday, but now it's not working. Okay. We're going to get these softwares will talk to each other at some point. There we go. All right. Go. It's got to be done. All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about believing in yourself and why are we doing this? I don't know. It might be because it's cloudy, it's rainy, there's thunder and lightning and whatever the hell, and that's just the vibe for the day. Um, but it's also something that I just get from people. So as you guys know, everything that I've done since 2019, 2020 has been online. So I get to talk to a lot of cool people from all over and talk to them about their problems, talk to them about their situations, talk to them about like what's going on in their lives. And just some crazy shit, I share some crazy ass stories with some people from all over the world, all over the internet. There was this one time I was posting about what happened with like a family member. Um, and they had asked me for money, and then they, like, let money ruin our relationship, and, then I had this guy just randomly reach out to me and just say, "Hey, I heard your story about this thing with your family member. Let me share with you my thing." And their thing was, like, 100 times worse than what I shared, but that's what happens when, like, you guys are open, honest, and vulnerable, um, on social media, on your platforms, because it helps people connect with you. And the hard part about that, Instagram, I think that we're live. I see you guys rolling in, so just let me know if it is coming through. Um, I think a lot of that it's hard for people to share their story because to them and to you, your story might not mean much. You might feel shame towards your story. You might feel like your story isn't yours to share for some reason because it has to do with other people or other people are part of that thing that happened to you. So what I always hear is, well, I don't want to put them in a bad light. I don't want to put them in a bad position. But the truth is you're not. You're just making it up in your head that that's what's going to happen. It's a story that you're telling yourself that if I share what's authentically true for me and how I experience something that's happened in my life, it's going to make this other person look bad. It's going to make this other person maybe feel bad that I'm sharing this thing. Maybe other people are going to now judge this other person. That's not really how it works. Like people are connected to you, they don't know the other person that's part of the story. And it holds a lot of people back from, like, truly sharing their story. I mean, I have a lot of family issues, I have a lot like, basically, all of the bullshit that I talk about has to do and it stems from the the lack of family that I've had after 10 years old. A lot of the rage, a lot of the depression, a lot of the things was sourced from the events that happened after the loss of family. So at any point when I'm talking about shit that I'm going through or have gone through, it's associated with my family. But when I tell the story, I'm telling the story because that's how I lived it. That was my experience. And for me, because it's my fucking family and it's my experience, I don't see that as a negative thing. I think that everybody's human. I'm pretty sure I'm a bad guy in somebody's story. I'm pretty sure that in my family there was a time where I was like full of rage and wrath, and like they can share an experience where I probably went overboard, or after I enlisted into the Marine Corps, the wrath got even higher. And so it was like weird to be around me. I'm sure that they would tell that story. But they may not tell the story because they're afraid that it's gonna make me look bad. It won't make me look bad because I own that I wasn't always a good human. I wasn't always a great person. And I think that that's what makes it hard for people to believe in themselves sometimes because, we go through seasons in our lives, and anybody that pretends to be fucking perfect, they're full of shit. We go through our lives where we're not the best people. We go through like those seasons in our lives where we're like trying to find ourselves, try to be the best versions of ourselves. And there's sometimes where we are like being zombies to life because of whatever's happening in our lives. And we don't know how we're treating people in the world. We don't know how we're showing up in the world. We don't actually see it because we're so caught up in the negativity. We're so caught up in the rage. We're so caught up in all the negative emotions that we don't see that we stomp all over people during those seasons in our lives. And it's not like an intentional thing. I think that there are bad people for sure. But I think that a lot of people, the hurt people that hurt people, I think that those people, are doing it unintentionally, which is bad. Obviously you want to be aware of shit like that. But at the same time, I think that I think that all of us go through a season like that in our lives. So, because we've lived it, we own all of the negativity. We own how we've seen ourselves, especially once we start reflecting back on like, damn, I was kind of a shitbag. It's hard to go from knowing that you are that way, your family seeing you that way, your friends seeing you that way, everybody you've ever known seeing you that way, and then trying to reinvent yourself to become this better person. And then it can affect the mind. It can affect your ability to go after what you want in life, because then what happens is you create the ceiling that you have only ever been this shitbag. So how can you ever possibly be somebody great? How can you ever possibly do any good? How can you ever possibly be worth anything more when all you've ever been is like down here? And it does get to people. Like, it got to me, like it's just one of my biggest flaws, or it was one of my biggest flaws. And I'm sure in different areas, I'm going to find that flaw surface again in another area because I'm going to get to a different level. And then some shit from the past is going to come up and I'm going to have to work through it. So that way I release the e brake that's holding me back. And that's how we're going to move forward. If you guys were to ever actually think about where you're at in your life, and where you're getting stuck, there's a lack of belief that you have in self that's preventing you from like going full battle rattle into like becoming the best version of you. There's something, if you really took the time to think about it, there's something holding you back from taking that leap of faith. There's something that's holding you back from believing that if you do the thing, you're actually going to achieve success. There's something holding you back. And that thing that's holding you back is probably an identity that no longer serves you. It's a version of you that you once were, that you have to shake off. You have to let it go. You have to let go that you're human and you've gone through shit in your life and you can come back from that. Like, it can be forgiven, but what are you going to do about it? If you allow the shame, the guilt, the whatever, um, to stay a part of your identity, then you're never going to allow space for the new self. You're never going to allow space for this new version of you to really take hold and for you to continue to mold. It's not going to be possible. And so the reason why I want to share this with you guys, because obviously I've worked a lot with like people in high performance, people that want to get to the next level, people that want to build businesses, whatever. The thing that holds everybody back is like this. I don't believe that I can do it. So I'm going to go through all of the things that I hear, okay? I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I actually like start, that I'm going to be able to make it to the finish line. I don't know that if I put myself out there, I'm going to do good. I don't believe that if I put myself out there, like I'm going to like putting myself out there. I don't know if I put myself out there, like how long I'm gonna have to fail for, how many people are gonna watch me fail, for me to finally become successful. If I do put myself out there, what if the world judges me? What if like I really want support and I get zero support? What if I put content out there and people aren't supporting the content? What if people don't like the content? What if I look shit on content? What if I sound shit on content? What if I try for years and I don't ever become successful? What if? Right? So there's a lot of what if scenarios that happen in the mind. Um a big one is this. What if my family sees me doing all of these new things and all they've ever seen me is this like alcoholic, weed smoking, fucking time wasting motherfucker. And now they're gonna see me become this like helpful person that wants to give to the world. I don't know. All of my friends from high school, from college, have seen me as this like shitbag that like did nothing with his life. And now I'm trying to be entrepreneurial. What if I get all of the feedback from these people and they call me out for trying to be something that I've never been? You see how, like, it's just so easy to work yourself into that. It's so easy for you to find reasons not to believe in you. It's so easy for you to find something to prove to yourself you're not the one. You're not it. You can't be it. But it's equally as easy to find reasons why it should be you. It's equal to find the power to, like, look inward and be like, "Well, I am the person who can do this because I'm learning from my mistakes. I am the person that can change my life because I'm to accept all of my flaws. I'm willing to say that, yeah, I did fuck up in my life. Yeah, I was kind of an asshole for a little bit. Um, yeah, I wasn't maybe the best person in the world. And all of those things I had to learn so that way I can create that as a gift that I can use to serve the world now. Um, the amount of energy that it takes to not believe in you is equal to the amount of energy it takes to believe in you. And it's hard to do that because it's very easy to feel negative emotion. It's hard to build belief because belief takes time. Negative emotions stem from time that's already existed in the past. We've already done all the shit, which is why it's already easy for us to be negative. For us to be positive, we have to create belief. We have to create proof that we do and we say and we are everything that we say we do, we are. And that's why it's hard because then it requires hard work. Then it's requiring you to do things you've never done before. And that's why it's hard because in order to build the trust with yourself, to breed the confidence, you actually have to do all the things that break down your confidence first before you can establish confidence. Right? It's kind of like in the military. You go to boot camp not to become a savage right away. You get broken down into nothing so that way they can mold you into something great. That's how it works. So that process of being broken down is very hard for people because what happens is it's like, well, I want to believe in myself, but now I have to get broken down to then believe in myself. When I get broken down, I believe in myself even less. So how am I going to get there? It's like this weird thing that happens. But the truth is, when you're broken down, you get to build yourself up in the image that you can be proud of. When you go to the gym and you're tearing muscles, you're not going to feel good getting ripped. You're not going to feel good getting shredded. You're not going to feel good when the muscles tear in those moments you're doing those reps. You're not going to feel good when it's fucking leg day and you're hurting and you're limping along because everything fucking hurts. And then everything like cramps up on you. It doesn't feel good, but you know you're working towards a better version of you. Once you start feeling like the differences in your muscles, once you start feeling difference in your energy, then you're just like, "Damn, I had to feel bad to then feel good." That's the truth, right? That's a really good thing to really consider when it comes to this evolution of life. But the thing is, what we do in our confidence and in our belief in self, it's not tangible in the sense of like, I can feel that my muscles are getting harder in my legs after I fucking just destroy them. We can't feel these things like physically. So then we have to like trust our emotions. Then we have to trust like our mentality. And then it's just like, "Oh, well, I haven't been able to trust my fucking emotions because I've been, in emotional turmoil my entire life, so now I'm supposed to trust that I'm on the right path when, like, I've been nothing but, like, wrathful. I've been nothing but this, and this, emotionally my entire life. I've been, like, up and down on this fucking roller coaster, and now I'm supposed to just trust my gut that I'm, like, going in the right direction. I'm supposed to trust my mind that's been in the gutter for a majority of my life, and I'm supposed to trust that my mind telling me, "You're doing a good job, bro. You're doing a good job. Just keep going." I'm supposed to trust that same mind that I should keep going in that direction when my mind in the past has always brought me to a negative state. What if now this same thought process is going to bring me to a negative state and this is all a waste of time? You see, that's how the mind works. It's all types of fucked up. So you can imagine how hard it is to actually believe in yourself when these are the things that happen in your mind. These are the ways that like you dance with yourself, and like every single day it feels like you have to prove to yourself that that way of thinking is wrong. It's fucked up. Let me know if you guys understand what I'm talking about, like the fucking mental gymnastics you put yourself through on a daily basis. It's crazy. And the mind apparently fires off 60, 70,000 thoughts per day, but they're primarily of the same thought. Which means if you are having negative thoughts, it's the same negative thoughts, but it's just ricocheting in your fucking brain. And so you're doing that 60 to 70,000 times per day. And the constant repetition of that really just shatters you. It can hold you back for so long. It can hold you back from anything. I talk to people all the time that's like, "Hey, film changed my life." And I'm like, "Okay, like I hope you do. I really hope you do." But I also know from the patterns of the people that I talk to, unless you do something different, unless you're surrounded by different people, unless you're doing different things, that shit's not happening anytime soon. It's just not. It's just the way the world works. If you have the same inputs, how can you ever expect different outputs? How is that even possible? If you literally do the same thing over and over and over and over again and expect to have different results, it's crazy to believe that like you're actually going to quantum leap. And so my hope is that like people actually commit, but life happens. Okay? So think about it like this. Have you guys ever been in a position where you're like, "Okay, now I'm going to change my life." Right now, I've decided after all the bullshit, I'm finally going to change my life. And you start doing different things. You start putting yourself out there a little bit more. Maybe you start networking. Um, maybe you start a YouTube channel. Maybe I don't know. You start your social medias. Maybe you start your business. Maybe you go to college. Maybe you fucking ask the girl out on the date. Whatever. You do the thing. You're just like, I'm gonna believe in me. I'm gonna do the thing. And then life happens. And then some weird shit happens and you're just like, "What the fuck just happened right now?" So, like, you're going to the interview for the new job. Your car breaks down and you're like, "What the fuck?" You're like, "Oh, I'm gonna take my daughter to the park tomorrow." And then it's, like, raining and hailing, and you're just like, Well, I mean, I fucking promised her we're gonna do the thing, and now we can't because it's hailing, and I don't want her to get a bruise in the face." Um, I'm gonna go start a business. Oh, shit, global shutdown. Like some shit's gonna happen. And it's always during those times where you're like, I'm finally ready for change. When you're finally ready for change, that's when the biggest test comes. When you're finally ready to like do the thing, the most hardship you could ever possibly experience will happen. It's the craziest things. Am I wrong? Have you guys, like, had a perfect time where, like, you're like, "I'm gonna go fucking change my life," and then, like, the next day, it's, like, rainbows and sunshine and, like, everything is perfect? That happened to you guys? It didn't happen to me. To me, it was, like, fucking slap in the face every single time. It's like, "Oh, you wanna change your life, Phil? Fuck you. Let's see if you're actually serious this time." I want you guys to remember that that's how it's gonna feel. It's gonna feel like, "I wanna change my life. I just wanna do my best. I'm ready for change." And the moment you guys decide that, God, the universe, life, whatever it is going to put trial after trial after trial after trial after trial in front of you. And then God, the universe, life will sit there and say, okay, prove it. Okay, let's see. Let's see you actually do it. And the first test is completely turning your world upside down. So I'll give you a beautiful, beautiful example of just like hammer. I just kept getting hammered. Okay. So 2019, my wife and I, we both got promotions in the corporate life. Okay. Both promoted, fucking blah, blah, blah. All nice, right? We go to celebrate, get some steaks, come back home. Car accident. Fucked up my entire left side of my body. Just completely. I still feel this shit to this day. It's weird to know that half of my body was like an inch shorter than the other side because of what was happening to my bones and my muscles. Okay, so I was like, "Ah, that fucking sucked." Um, it can't get any worse than this. So then we're like, "Oh, life's short. Let's start our family." We're so excited to start our family. We can create the family of our dreams. We can create the family that we never had. We can create the family and give our children everything that we've always wanted. We can be the best parents. Okay, let's do it. Okay? Let's just be positive. Like, yeah, we're recovering and shit, but fuck it. We're gonna get through this. Get pregnant. Boom. Congratulations, Phil. You now have a kid coming. You're going through shit in your body where you have to heal. You have to go through a ton of fucking physical therapy. Now you have a kid on the way. Congratulations. Global shutdown. You lose your job. Congratulations. Let's see how good of a fucking dad you're going to be. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know how much of a slap in the face that was? All I've ever wanted to do was be a good man to my wife and be a good father to my kids. And to start the journey of parenthood in the middle of a shutdown? Do you guys have pandemic babies? Did anybody else? Was that just me? You know? Anybody else become a parent during the shutdown? Wasn't that the biggest shit that you've ever gone through? Isn't that like the craziest shit where you're just like, "Oh, I'm gonna start a family," and then boom, shutdown. I did it pre-shutdown though. So if you guys were just like locked up together and then you got pregnant, that's a whole different thing. But I'm saying like you weren't expecting the shutdown to happen and then like you had a baby on the way. Um or shit, even the middle. It's a fucking shit show. It's like it challenges you because then you have to learn like this whole new art form. And that's why when my wife got this for me, this was uh first year of life right here, okay, for my first. And, so when my wife got that for me, I actually cried because I saw it and I just the reason why I cried is because I was so stuck in like, "Okay, you gotta focus, 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 provide, provide, provide." And all I saw looking back at me was like a dad just trying his best, like through a really hard time, like just trying his best. And I cried because I was just like, "Oh man, I'm so happy that even though I was sacrificing so much, that I saw the smiles on their faces in each one of those pictures, that's why I started, like, really, really crying, like, I was bawling when I saw that, because you just try your best, you know? And, again, it's just like, "Oh, shit. You wanna be a good dad? You wanna be a good fucking husband? You wanna say that you wanna be a good husband? You wanna be a good dad? Okay. Let's see, motherfucker. Let's see what happens when you're stripped of your job, when you have fucking nothing going on, when the world is shutting down and you're not going to be able to just land another job because nobody's hiring. Everybody's literally getting laid off. Let's see. Let's see how good of a dad you're going to be, shitbag. Let's see if you're actually going to follow through. Let's see if you can actually provide for your wife, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just hit after hit after hit after hit. But it was a blessing in disguise because then I really had to focus. When we talk about believing in yourself, man, there are so many times during the shutdown, that and again, like, I don't know if this happened for you guys, it happened for me. So many times during the shutdown, man, me and my wife, we had a Zoom wedding. Anybody else have a Zoom wedding? We didn't have a normal wedding. We got married on fucking Zoom. Um Story for another time. Why did we do that? I'll tell you guys another time. Um, it was a shit show, but for me, during the times where I had to like really do my best, Man, I did not believe in myself. It was a fucking nightmare. Every day was a nightmare. Every day was like I was in darkness. Every day I was like so worried that like my family would starve. I was so worried that my family would be homeless. I was so scared that I would become another fucking shitbag dad. I was so worried that like my daughter would grow up and just look at me like not proud that I'm her dad. There was like just everything like, oh fuck, man, like maybe my wife shouldn't have married me because like look at the fuck that's happening here. Like, way to go, Phil. You're just you're doing a great job starting this whole thing off. So much doubt, so much fear, so much judgment, so much shame, so much guilt. And these are a lot of variables that I couldn't control. Like nobody knew this shit was gonna happen, you know? And man, there were so many times I would, like, break down crying in the office, and, like, I would never tell my wife, like, I'd, like, fucking be, like, under my fucking desk, right? And because my previous desk, because this one's a little bit more high speed, my previous desk was, like, a little IKEA desk, right? So it's like an L shape, so it goes like this, goes down. So I'd literally sit under just in case my wife was to walk into the office, and, bro, I'd just be, like, rubbing my face so that way, like, you can't hear shit. And it was, like, the saddest fucking saddest picture you could see. And most people never tell you they do that shit, but I fucking did that shit. And I needed to do that because there was, like, this huge part of me that, I was, like, just straight judgment of self. I really was like, "Man, is everything that I'm doing actually gonna equate to something? Am I actually gonna be able to get to the finish line? Am I actually gonna be able to do the thing I said I'm gonna do?" Um, and it was a lot. It's very difficult to believe in yourself when, like, the world is in chaos. It's very difficult to believe in yourself when you there's no proof that you should, you know? When, like, the worst things happen, it's like, that's the time where it's, like, the hardest to believe in yourself, and that's the time where, like, God calls you to just fucking do the thing. Fucking you're gonna believe in yourself, you're gonna be that person, you're gonna change your life? Okay, let's fucking see. Let's see. Let's see how long and how much abuse you can take, how much punishment you can take. Let's see. Because to be what you say you're gonna be is gonna require you to have the fortitude in every area to be able to become that. And I had to really dial in. This is where I doubled down on meditation. This is where I doubled down on journaling. This is where I doubled down on battle planning. This is where I doubled down on taking messy fucking action. This is where I doubled down on taking action that I knew would lead to failure, but that failure would allow me to know the path I shouldn't take. And so most people are afraid of failure because they let it hit their armor and then they lack belief. For me, I'm just like, okay, well now I know not to go this fucking direction. And I'm just like a crazy man, just finding all the ways that don't work and finding the one, two, or three ways that do. But most people don't want to get rejected. Most people don't want to fail like that because it does affect confidence, you know, but that's what you have to do. That's what has to be done. And you have to dig really deep. You have to dig really, really deep to know why like you're going to get to the finish line because again, we can't control our timelines. We can only control the actions that we take and how we respond to things. We can only control how we experience things. And the timeline, I didn't know. I knew that, you know, we had a baby coming. I know that time like there's no stopping that timer. You know, like there's no like, hey baby, just don't be born yet, you know. And every day was like a month. Every day felt like a month. And there's so much thought had to go into each and every day. Had to be very intentional with each and every day. And that's what's required though. And when you guys want to believe in yourself, you have to know it's going to take work to believe in yourself. It's going to take a lot of fucking work to like find any proof that you should. And more often than not, you guys are not going to believe in yourselves and you're going to want to break down and you're going to want to throw in the towel and you're going to want to give up and you're going to be like, oh, I'm fucking done with this, bro. Like, this is bullshit. Um, More times than you're going to feel like I'm the fucking one. Probably like one out of 100 times, maybe even 1,000 times, you'll actually really believe in you. And then as soon as you believe in you, the next like hour, you're just like, oh, Jesus, like everything's falling to shit again. And it's like this fucking hamster wheel. So what's required is like the resilience to just take beating after beating after beating, and then to continue to find, like, what's your driving force? Like, why would you stick around? Why would you do it? Why would you suffer? Why would you be willing to do what nobody else would be willing to do, which is stick around through the fucking punishment? And that thing, that why, it's what's gonna get you through that. It's what's gonna make you believe. It's the whys might be your family, it might be you, it might be, like, who you see yourself as. It's maybe a promise you made to yourself in the past of who you would be for your family. It has to do with some type of promise you've made to yourself or to somebody. And at the core level, when you think about being, like, lost in the desert, right? So this is the best way to start understanding your driving force if you guys wanna do that as your exercise today. If you guys were lost, okay, you guys were dropped and somehow you were on a fucking plane just by yourself and you were the pilot, whatever, and you somehow crashed and survived and you're in the middle of the fucking desert with like and when you were up in the sky, you saw nothing, nothing all around you except fucking sand. And for some reason you fucking crashed or you parachuted down, whatever, because the shit was going down. And it was you versus you. You had no water, you had no food. How many of you in that position would look around you and just emotionally shut down, where you're just like, "Oh, fuck. I just got dropped in the middle of the fucking desert, in the middle of nowhere, and I know that there's nothing for miles and miles and miles and miles. How the fuck am I gonna live through this shit?" How many of you would emotionally, like, just shut down and break down? I probably need a second. If that was me, I'd probably be like, "Jesus Christ, of course this is happening right now. I'm gonna take a minute because this is bullshit." And then I'd start looking and scavenging for shit, so that way, maybe I have a weapon, maybe I can find a bottled water, maybe I can find something to start the survival process. Maybe. I would just immediately take action, or maybe I'll take a fucking hour. I don't know. Whatever needs to be done will be done. How many of you would emotionally break down? And more importantly, how long would you allow yourself to emotionally break down? Because that's what's gonna make the difference between somebody that's able to push through things and somebody that freezes in a state of fear. It's not that we don't feel negative emotion. It's not that we, like, constantly believe in ourselves. It's feeling the negative emotion for shorter and shorter periods of time because we have that bounce back. We have that resilience. And then after that, would you just, like, break down and then, like, roll up into a ball and then go die? Is that what you would do? If that happened to you, if you can just close your eyes and imagine it, would you just be like, "Okay, I'm done. I give up"? Maybe. Some people actually would probably. But for those of us who would be like, "Well, no, I would try." This is where the exercise starts, okay? If the answer is I would try to figure out a way to unfuck this entire situation, the question is why and for who? Why and for who? Because you surviving that is not for you. You will give up on you. You will always give up on you faster. And you guys can say, "No, I would never fucking give up on myself." Yeah, you would. Don't lie. Yeah, you would. But you wouldn't give up on getting back to somebody else. You wouldn't give up if you know somebody else is depending on you. It's literally purpose. Purpose has nothing to do with us and giving to us. It's giving to what's important to us. That's why you want to survive. When you are stuck in the middle of nowhere and you're just like, "I need to get the fuck up," like, fucking crying, fucking all the negative emotions are coming through, blah, 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 blah. Do you need to get back to your kids because your kids won't have a parent? You need to get back to your wife because she's going through something right now and you need to get back to her because she's your person? Is it your family that's depending on you? Are you the tip of the spear? What is calling you to take the next step when there's no sign anywhere that you're going to survive this fucking thing? What makes you move? What makes you take the next step? What makes you even like find it inside of yourself to not know what the outcome's going to be, but still to show up? What is that thing? That if you dig there and you find what I call your driving force, you will find the thing that's gonna really help you believe in you. You're gonna find the thing that's gonna help you show the fuck up. You're gonna find the thing in you that when things get the hardest, when things are not going your way, when God or the universe says, "All right, show me what you got. Let's see if you mean it this time." You finding that driving force is what's gonna get you through every wall you have to break through to become who you need to be. Most people never take the time to uncover that driving force, which is why they're easy to give up when adversity hits. This is why people don't believe in them. When I was hiding under my fucking office table, I wasn't like, "Oh, I need to show me that I'm the fucking man." It wasn't that. I was like, "No, my family's, like, depending on me. I literally need to, like, provide. I literally need to, like, make sure they're taken care of." Like, fuck how I feel. How I feel is bullshit. It's not serving anybody. If anything, it's, like, wasting time. What I need to do is make sure that my family's taken care of. That's the only thing that got me to get myself dust myself off, be like, "Alright, I fucking needed that little cry." And this happened frequently, okay? It wasn't just, like, once and I was fucking good to go. Constantly getting hammered, okay? Every time, dust myself, "Alright, fucker, let's fucking let's move. Let's figure out a way to get this shit done. We gotta get shit done." And it's just constantly picking myself back up from that negative, space that I was in, picking myself up, getting myself back in alignment with my driving force. And then somehow, because I went to serve my family, that's how I found belief in myself. That's how I started forging myself because I knew I would let myself down. I knew I would collapse under the pressure if I just stayed internal. So I needed to make sure that every single day, which is why you guys see like I constantly have my family around me because I will not fail them. I can believe in me because I know what I'm willing to do for my family. I know what I'm willing to sacrifice for my family. I know what I'm willing to do for the people that I love. I know that. I might not know what the fuck I'm doing. I might be failing forward. I might just be fucking shotgunning it until I can sniper approach this whole fucking situation. But I do believe that I will never fail them. I do believe that I will do anything for them. Again, purpose is not towards us, it's towards others. It's to serve others. That's what purpose is. And that's how I started building my belief. That's how I started believing in myself that I'm in full command and control of my life. And there was remnants of this from the past. You know, there's ways in the past that showed me that I was already operating this way, but it was unconscious because I think I was just in straight survival mode. This was intentional. And when you're intentional about this, that's what's game changing. When you're intentional about this, that's when your whole world changes because now you know, "Oh, shit, I do have it in me. Oh, shit, I can make it through. Oh, shit, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me." All of these things are showing me signs that I can be who I see myself as in my mind, and that is power. But again, it's just like tearing of the muscles. It's gonna feel like shit, and it's gonna feel like shit for a long time, and that might be years. It's gonna feel like shit, and it's who can last through all the beatings, through the punishment, through the abuse of life. Who can just show up tired and disgruntled the next day and just be like, "Jesus Christ, I gotta do this shit all over again." And then you do it. And then you go to sleep, you rack out, and you're just fucking spent. You got nothing left in you. And then you wake up the next day and you're just like, "Oh, here we go again, doing it again." And then you do that day after day, week after week, month after month. And then at some point, you're like, "Okay, I'm starting to get some fucking getting some energy back. Okay, so all of this work I've been fucking being a zombie too is starting to compound. I'm starting to see results from all of my efforts and failures. Okay, so I guess we're on to something." And then what happens is you start building momentum, but it could be months or years where you're just like in that state of just like, "Oh fuck, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know if this is the right path. I don't know if everything that I'm doing is like wasting fucking time, if I'm just going totally in the wrong fucking direction." The truth is you're not. It's gonna feel like that for as long as it needs to feel like that, but it's you finding you. That is how you find belief in self. It's actually taking the time to just take a path, stick to the path, and find how you show up in all of that. and adjusting and optimizing, adjust, optimize, optimize, optimize. And eventually you find yourself and just like, oh shit. Okay. So now I can think clearly about things. Now I know when to move, when to stop, when to slow down, when to speed up. Now I have like these levers. Every single day, I'm just pulling these levers in my life. And these levers are the things that allow me to continue to move no matter what. These are the things. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. If you guys, I don't know what happens with this thing, but if you guys don't register your name, I can't see your name. Good morning, though. When you guys can see your life as like pulling levers, you're in a lot of control because now you're just like, okay, emotionally I'm fucking spent, so I need to cool the fuck off. Okay, cool. I'm highly motivated right now. Let me like fucking send it. Okay, cool. Mentally, I'm so fucking drained. I'm so drained. Let me cool off for a second. I need a refuel. Okay, fucking, I need to get some food, get some water, spend time with the kids, spend time with the family. I got to do something to shake myself awake again. Okay, cool. I got all the energy in the world. Let's go full battle round. You guys can start pulling these levers in your life because you've attained mastery of self to a certain extent. You're achieving self mastery. So now you get to like use these levers to your advantage. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. We're not always pushing, guys. We're not always like depleting our tank of energy completely. We're learning when we push, when we pull, when we slow down, when we speed up. It's an art form. And that's how you stay in the fight longer because now you're not getting burnt out. You're not getting overwhelmed. There is something called burnout. If you don't believe it, can a racehorse win every single race if they never stop running? No. They're gonna get fucking burnt out. It's a thing. Okay? You have to know that. You have to know your levers. And through that process is where you find and build belief. I think the building of belief is hard for people because that's what takes, commitment to not giving up, to showing up on the days where especially you don't want to. So today, what I want you guys to do is I want you to think about what is your driving force? What is the thing? What is the reason? Who are the people? What influences you to show up on the days where you want to give up the most? You got to figure that out. You got to know what it is. You have to spend time there because a lot of people really do spend majority of their life, if not their entire life, never knowing this answer, which is why they're miserable, which is why they never achieve what they want to achieve in life. This is why they never get to really see themselves for the greatness that I usually see in people. I usually see like people's greatness more than they can see themselves. I always talk about seeing somebody's ember and turning into a flame, and I can see embers in people. They don't see it though. They feel cold like a coal. They don't feel it up, and I'm like, nah, I see it in you. I see it in you, but do you see it in you? Because in order to cultivate that, you have to be able to see it in you. But not enough people spend the time to try to find it because it takes a lot of work. It's very hard to just sit with yourself and know self. That's why you guys need to journal. You guys need to spend time in Genius. You guys need to do all the things to like understand the answers that you seek are not outside of you. They're all inside of you. But are you willing to just sit with yourself and face all those demons? That's the question. So with that being said, guys, I gotta jump. These trainings may get a little shorter because I have a new project that surfaced too. So 6:30 a.m. every morning. Gonna be doing shit. So we're gonna see. If you guys like these long ass trainings every morning, let me know obviously in the comments and stuff. Um, but I think we're gonna start going lower and lower and lower. Just a heads up. But hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Just understand to believe in yourself, you're gonna take a massive fucking beating. You're gonna take a lot of punishment. You're gonna take a lot of fucking abuse. It has to be done. It's like literally everybody, 100%. Like there's nobody that can like cut the line. That's like, oh no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to take the abuse or the punishment. I just want the success though, please. Can I get a serving of that? Don't be that guy. Everybody's gonna get slapped in the fucking face. All of us. And that's what unites us. That's what makes all of us that know, like, you're just going through the shit. Fucking well done. That's where we get to celebrate all of these trials. This is where we all get to like pour into each other that um I know what you're going through. I know that. I know that face. I know that, like, fucking, disgruntled face, like, "Oh, fuck, I've gotta do it again." I know that lack of belief. I see the doubt. I resonate with that because I remember when I was like that. "Oh, you don't believe in yourself? That's great, you're on the right path." And then you're, like, surrounding yourself with people that think like that, and you're just like, "What the fuck's going on here?" I'm, like, saying all this negative shit, and everybody's like, "Yay, it's happening for you." And you're just like, "What the fuck is going on here?" That's your people. Those are the right people. It's the people that you need to get away from where you're just like, "Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here." And they're just like, "Aw, you need to take a break? Do you need to rest? Can you stop for a second?" No, 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 that's not your people. Your people are like the people that recognize, like, "Yeah, yeah, your breakthrough's, like, on the other side of that. Your next level is, like, right there. Just keep going." And just like, "I can't fucking push any longer." Just remember that it fucking works that way. I'll leave you with this, okay? I don't know why I always get excited when, like, something like an analogy comes up, and I'm just like, "Ah, that's a great one." So as a machine gunner, you carry a lot of weight, right? And it's very easy for you to get to that level where you're just like, "Oh, Jesus, like, this is a lot of fucking weight," like, and then you got, like, 0 sleep, your fucking muscles are all tight, like, you didn't have time to fucking do anything to warm up, and you're just fucking hiking cold. When you do that shit for miles, and, there's a lot of variables, okay, a lot of variables that I'm not gonna get into. The way that it challenges the mind and the body and the spirit, it's a lot. And there's a point, especially when you're a new gunner, where you're carrying all this shit and you're just like, "Oh, fuck." Like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out, right? You're just like, "Jesus Christ." And at some point, your seniors teach you how to think through this stuff, how to feel through this, how to break through this. And it's learning to catch your stride. It's learning to catch your breath. It's learning to be present with each step. It's learning the art form of actually being a machine gunner. It's also knowing that you're gonna earn your strength. You're gonna earn your resilience. You're gonna earn it through blood, sweat, and tears. That has to be paid. And the same guy that was this new gunner that, like, everything hurt. Like, at one point, I even turned purple, to just, like, carrying guns on my back, and I'm just like, "What the fuck are we doing? Like, are we gonna keep going? Are we gonna stop? Like, what the fuck's going on here?" The shift that happened was I broke through the ceiling of just being that zombie. Instead of being like, "I want this pain to stop," all I did was accept that it was gonna be painful. All I did was accept that it was gonna fucking suck. All it did was accept that there's gonna be this big ass piece of metal on my fucking neck forever, and I'm gonna be sweating bullets. I'm gonna have a massive fucking pack on me. Everything's gonna be uncomfortable. Shit's not gonna go my way. A strap might not be tight enough where it's really leveraging the weight in the proper areas. Shit's just gonna go weird. Or I'm gonna have to pick up another gun. I don't fucking know. But I know it's gonna suck. So I just accept it. The moment I started embracing the suck, the moment I started embracing that shit was just not gonna go my way, I was like, "Oh, there we go. That's it. That's the answer. It's not that it's not gonna suck. I just accepted that it's gonna suck. And how I experience it is different." And then when I see that in other gunners that are coming up that just join us, I'm just like, "Ah, there we go. He's moving through that cycle. He's moving through that place of pain. He's moving through that point where he's learning about himself." And I always get excited because at some point you see the shift in that Marine and they just start looking different. Instead of like, "It fucking hurts, it sucks," and you see that face that they have, you just start seeing them like look and stare and be. And it's a great thing. So babies are up. I gotta jump, guys. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Um, Remember, think about your driving force, why you're willing to succeed. Okay. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's training. But just remember, once you uncover that, you're going to feel a lot more power in your life. You're going to believe in yourself a lot more because you're going to know why you're going to show up today. All right? Much love, guys. Peace.